Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Hadedi. If today is your first time seeing this beautiful face, you're welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. Today's video is going to center around preparing for motherhood. But before I go into it properly, I would like to crave your indulgence. If you are yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, please subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you are going to be part of those that will see the notification when another video or any new video comes up. So please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure you like this video, give comments, things like that. So I said it earlier that this video is going to center around preparing for motherhood, and I'm going to be telling you some of the things I did while preparing for motherhood. So if you're a new mom, a new wife, or soon to be a wife, and you know you're going to become a mother one day, this video is definitely for you. So when talking about motherhood, I believe that motherhood is not something anyone can actually prepare enough for. You can't really prepare enough for motherhood. Reason being that motherhood has a way of shocking everyone, because no one even knows what motherhood has in stock for her. We can't really say, oh, this is how my motherhood journey is going to be. You can't really say. No one can say. So, and that is why giving a compound solution to preparing for motherhood may not be possible. But I still believe that a certain level of preparation every woman or every lady should do while preparing for motherhood. And when we talk about preparation for motherhood, I believe that preparation for motherhood starts the day you realize that you're actually going to become a mother one day. That is when preparation for motherhood starts. That realization of the fact that one day I'm going to become a mother, that is when you start preparing for motherhood, because everything around your life starts, like, you start behaving in a way that, oh, one day I'm actually going to become a mother. I should not do this, I should not do that. So you start preparing for motherhood. The date thinks that you're actually going to become a mother one day. You're going to carry that title, mother. For some people say motherhood is a calling. I have heard of some people that will tell you being a mother is my calling, and you will see such people doing motherhood in a way that they are purpose driven, like they are doing it with purpose driving them. Actually, motherhood can be a purpose, it can be a calling for some people, and that is why it's not something that should be done with levity. It's not something that should be taken for granted. You should actually count yourself lucky. You should count yourself worthy that a general, a life is actually given to you to nurture. It's a level of reverence that God has actually placed on you, that, yeah, that is entrusting lives, entrusting is heritage into your hands. So it's not something you should take with levity. It's not something you should not prepare for. So you not preparing for motherhood is actually you shortchanging yourself. And I believe that motherhood is though challenging, though demanding, it is highly rewarding. Yeah, it's highly rewarding. Even though it may not be materially rewarding initially, I believe that it is deeply fulfilling. So for some people, preparation for motherhood comes earlier for them, because especially for firstborn daughters, they tend to prepare for it. They start preparing, like, they are being conditioned to start preparing for motherhood at the very early stage of their life. We see some firstborn daughters that fit into the roles of mother even as early as 10 years old, when they have younger siblings to cater for. So that preparation for motherhood sometimes comes earlier and comes later for some people. It's just a matter of condition that each and every one of us find ourselves. There are some people that they don't even start preparing for motherhood until they probably get married. It's possible. Probably they don't have any reason to just think about it, that one day I'm going to become a mother, not until they got married. So that preparation for motherhood comes at different stages for different ladies. So the first point I'm going to give concerning preparation for motherhood is books. Read books. Read books. You know, it's something you are not familiar with. You have not experienced being a mother before, and though you might have seen other mothers practicing their role or doing their role as mothers, you might have been learning little by little, but you can't actually learn enough until you take books and start reading about it. You must learn to read books, you know, books that will tell you, oh, this is how to prepare when you are pregnant, this is how to do, this is what you should do, this is you know, there are a lot of things books can actually expose you to. So you can't afford not to take books, and there are a lot of books like that. Yeah, you can read about motherhood. You can read books about parenting, because parenting too is part of motherhood. Motherhood is not about pregnancy, bearing children alone. Parenting too is part of motherhood. It's part of what you do inside that motherhood that we are talking about. So you can take books on parenting, you can take gynecologist book that teaches you about your body. You just have a wide exposure when it comes to motherhood when you take books and you read them. Next one I'm going to talk about is definitely prayer. You have to pray. While preparing for motherhood, you must pray. You must pray. There was a time I remember sometimes in 2024, I was somewhere and I had the nudge in my spirit that for a lady, for women, there are different seasons of our life. We have different seasons in our life. We have different stages. We have different seasons in life of it, and there is a grace required for every season, and motherhood is part of it. There is a grace required for motherhood that you have to actually pray to enjoy. You must pray to enjoy that grace. There's a grace for motherhood. There's a grace you pray for. So you cannot afford not to pray. You cannot afford not to pray. You must pray. You must learn to pray about motherhood. Pray about your child. Pray about the kind of child that the Lord is going to give to you. I remember when I was in school, when I was still in the university. In fact, I was still in my 100 level then. I remembered we had a program in my fellowship. It was women, ladies, sisters program then. And I remember one of our sisters that came to lecture us, that they said something like, pray for your you should learn to pray for your children even while you're in the university. That she told us that when you are praying for your children, you lay your hands on your tummy, you pray for the children you are going to have. There is a possibility that you actually feel the prayer in your tummy. And I remember that day that when I got to the hostel, I said, I want to have this feeling. I want to have this feeling today. And when I got my hostel, I went to where we used to pray. I laid my hands on my tummy. I was praying for my child. I was praying for, and to be sincere, I could remember that I had a feeling in my tummy as if something leaped. I didn't actually know what that meant then, but until I got pregnant and I saw the way my baby was turning in my tummy, and I remember that this is exactly what happened that day that I was praying for my child. That day that I laid my hand on my, and sincerely, it sounds spiritual, but it's that deep. It's that deep. You have to pray for your children. You have to pray for your children. You have to pray for the kind of children you want to have. You have to pray for pray for their well-being, pray for how they look. And that is why some people, they will tell you they are so sure that the kind of children they are going to have, they cannot have children that have deformities, because they are afraid it even while they were still younger. So prepare. That's why I said earlier that preparation for motherhood can come early. It should even come early. You should not um shouldn't be something that it is when you now when you not get married, or when you are pregnant. That's when you start preparing for motherhood. It shouldn't be like that. You should start preparing for motherhood as early as possible. And the ways you can prepare for motherhood as early as possible is by praying. At least it's not something you have seen. You have not seen the child, but you can actually connect with the child by faith in prayer. So prayer is very, very important. The third one I'm going to be talking about is quite medical, but very, very important. This. So when you are preparing for motherhood, or when you are preparing to get married, most especially when you are preparing to get married, let's say your marriage, or let's say your wedding is in 2-3 months time, please try as much as possible to take a medicine, a pill called folic acid. This is very, very important. This is very important. Take folic acid. Take folic acid. Folic acid is very, very important for your baby's brain and spine. You realize that these days, especially on social media, I scroll on social media and I realize that there are a lot of parents battling with children that have deformities and things like that, and you start wondering, though we can't categorically say this is what caused it, but I believe that when you take folic acid, most importantly, it prevents your baby from having some deformities. It helps your baby's brain, it helps your baby's spine. So don't forget, if you are planning to get married very soon, let's imagine your wedding is probably sometimes in this year. Please, even if it is not every day, start taking folic acid. It prepares your own body. It prepares your own body for pregnancy. Number one, it prevents you from having unnecessary miscarriage. That's it. Folic acid can prevent you from having unnecessary miscarriage. Number three is that it helps the baby come out in shape. It helps the baby's brain. I remember when I was going for my antenatal when I was pregnant. One of the nurses said something. Said, some of you, when you give birth to your children, you go to their school on prize giving day, they will not call your children one of the best in their class. He said when we tell you to take folic acid, you will not take folic acid, so your baby's brain is not going to be sharp. And that is tell you how important folic acid is. It helps your baby's brain to be very, very sharp, and it even helps them to come out very well. When you start taking folic acid very early, you won't be scared of all sort of brain damage, spine damage, or all this autism and all sort of things. Please, it's one of the ways you can prepare for motherhood is taking folic acid. So all these ones that I've just said now, the 3 points I have just given is just preparation during preconception, like preparation you do when you have not yet conceived your baby. So now let me just rush you through conception or post-conception. After you have conceived that baby, you are now pregnant. How do you prepare? First preparation you have to do is register in an antenatal. Register in an antenatal. It is very, very important. It is very important. Don't register in antenatal when your baby is already probably 8 months. You're already 8 months pregnant before you register for antenatal. Please register for antenatal as early as possible. As early as possible. I remember when I was pregnant, I registered in an antenatal even when my bump is not already out. I remember then it was always very funny to me because every other person, they are obviously pregnant. I was not obviously pregnant. It was so sometimes they'll be like, "What are you doing here?" They'll even be asking me, "Are you here for antenatal, or you came here to see gynae?" I say I'm pregnant because, and the reason why they were asking is because I was not looking pregnant, because I registered so early, and it actually helped. It helped. Register for antenatal very early so that if there's any form of complication, it's going to be noticed very early. The next one is rest well. Rest well during pregnancy. Allow your body to rest. I have seen situations whereby some people will say, is it because you are pregnant? Is that why you are lazy? If your body requires you to be lazy for some time, please do. Please do. Please do. You see all these people that are saying a lot of things. So is that why you are lazy? That you are not going to be there when anything happens to you. You are the one that is carrying this body. You know how this body feels. So you are the one to take caution. So when you need to rest, rest. In fact, you are really doing a lot. You are bringing life into this world. So if you really need to be lazy, please be lazy. At least when you are done with when you are done with the whole pregnancy journey and all of the things, you can go back to doing everything you want to do. Also, after conception, when you are now pregnant, you can also do away with prayer. You still have to pray. You still have to continue praying, because the truth is that say anything can happen. Things happen during pregnancy, things that you cannot even explain, especially when during delivery day. Especially during your delivery day, you should put that delivery day into God's hand. Pray for every medical practitioner that is going to attend to you. Pray for the environment of the hospital that you are going to deliver in, because all of these things can affect your delivery day. So you can't still do away with prayer after conception. You keep praying after conception. Another way you can prepare for your baby is by nurturing your heart and mind for a safe delivery. You have to nurture your heart, nurture your mind, read scriptures. There are scriptures that will help you nurture your mind, because here the mere thought of that delivery date can actually bring anxiety to mothers. So that you won't be anxious of that day, have scriptures in your mouth that you always mutter to just keep your mind at rest. So with this, I've come to the end of the video. If you have any other tips you want to add, you can actually do that in the comment section. You are going to be welcome. Thank you for watching. Bye.